Charitamrita, Madhya, Chapter 4, Text 97. आश पाश व्रज भूमेर यत ग्राम सब एक एक दिन सबे करे महोत्सव. So, after, this is describing how after the Annakuta ceremony was performed and the deity established in a glorious way, in a very devotionally glorious way, with great devotion and with great celebration. Then Asha Pasha Gramerasam, the nearby villages, they Yatagramasab, all the nearby villages. First the villages from Rajabhumi came, and then the villages from nearby Rajabhumi also came. Ek ek dina sabe kare mahotsav. They all came and they took turns. One day we want to offer food and we want to perform Annakuta for the Lord. So here we see the power of a devotional culture, that when a celebration was there, nobody told the people to come, but they themselves came and they took turns. They were ready to wait for whenever their term would come, because they not only had a natural devotion for the Lord, but also the whole devotional process is so joyful that they all wanted to participate in it as a part of their devotion, individual devotion, as a part of their culture. So all of them did festivals like this. Gopala prakata suni nana desha haite, nana dravyalaya lokala gila asite. Gopala prakata shuni. On hearing that Gopal has come, Shuni, on hearing this, Nana desha haite, from different countries, people came. Nana dravya laya loka lagila asite. Nana dravya, they all brought different kinds of food items. Laya loga lagila asite, they brought it. They came over there bringing those different kinds of presentations. Now in different places, different kinds of things are available, more or less. Some are available more because they are made more in that quantity, or they are for whatever reason available with the people more. Then each of them brought their own specialities. There was standard things that they brought, but along with that they brought special things which were characteristic of their places also. So now, along with the villages, the news of the appearance of Gopal spread even to the townships and cities. So the nearest city to Vrindavan is Mathura. And generally, villages are the sources of opulence in terms of natural opulence. There are grains, ghee, food, and other things like that over there. Villagers, they have natural opulence, but they may not have so much of direct financial opulence in terms of cash, which is required for making a temple of the Lord. So till now, the Lord had opulent bhoga being offered every day. Every day a magnificent Annakut festival was being performed. But still he was not at all in any temple of any kind practically. It was just a simple constructed structure which was like a shed. So then when the Mathuravasis came, then they will change all this. So the principle is that whatever we have, we serve the Lord according to that. Mathurara loka sap bada bada dhani, bhakti kari nana dravya bheta deyani. So Mathurara loka sab, the people of Mathura are bada bada dhani. They are very wealthy people. And when they came, bhakti kari nana dravya bheta deyani, with devotion they came, and bheta deyani, they brought various items as gifts with devotion for the Lord. So what were those items? Swarna ropya vastra gandha bhaksha upahar asankhya aise nitya badila bhandar. So the Swarna ropya vastra, Swarna is gold, ropya is silver, vastra is clothes, bhaksha, gandha is fragrances, bhaksha is food items. Upahar, so the upahar is the gifts. What all they brought? They brought all these items. So the Lord is to be treated as a person. And just as when people go to meet a respected relative or some other acquaintance who is venerable, then they give gifts, and the gifts can be of, these are usually of these kinds in the traditional way, the Vaishnava culture, and these are being exhibited over here. That culture is being exhibited as the people bring these gifts. Asankhya I say. There were not just small number, but such a large number that it seemed uncountable. Asankhya. I say, Nitya Badila Bhandar. And initially, when the Annakutta was performed, the food was offered, food was brought, cooked, and offered. But when this kind of items were brought, for example, silver and gold, these are not mentioned earlier, because these are more lasting opulences. So then, now there has to be a storehouse for keeping this. So there's a small storehouse for grains, but now when these sort of treasury items were brought, then Badil Bhandar, the storehouse, the granary, the treasury started expanding of the Lord. Ek mahadhani kshatriya karaila mandir केह पाक भंडार कैल केहत प्राचीर. So, एक महाधनी kshatriya, one kshatriya was extremely wealthy, very Karaila Mandir, he built the temple. So, there was the kshatriya who had adequate wealth, he was Mahadhani. And when he saw the opportunity, this Gopal deity is there and there's no temple, let me construct a temple. So, Karaila Mandir. Srila Prabhupada explains how this is this making an offering to the Lord is a principle among religious people in all traditions. Now, he talks about how in his youth he met in his householder days he was neighbors to a Muslim, and Muslim at one time through business got a contract by which he got a lot of wealth. And he said that now that I have got a wealth, I am going to build a mosque for Allah. So that culture, when there is overall a devotional understanding, then people want to glorify the Lord with whatever wealth they have. So this applies not only in the Vedic tradition but outside the Vedic tradition also. So this Kshatriya, he had wealth and he built a temple for the Lord. Now there are other Kshatriyas also who wanted to contribute. And they also wanted to do something for the Lord. So then they took up other services. Just like when we have fundraising, for building temples in the Krishna consciousness movement, it's not just the temple that is to be built. We have to build guest houses, there are offices, there are some theme parks or whatever. There are so many things involved. So there is service available for everyone. So much services there. So another person, Keha Paka Bhandar. So another build a granary for storing all the food items. So and provided all the utensils which are required for that also. So basically a kitchen and a granary was built. Kehata Prachir. Now when the Lord was simply living on a stone simhasan, Patharera simhasan as was mentioned earlier, then there was no need for protection because there's hardly anything that might attract any thieves or any predators of any kind. But when there was so much opulence that came, and even grains were being stored, then the devotees felt that we need to serve the Lord by providing a proper fencing to protect his resources. So, Kehata Prachir. So, one of them then built a fence. And in this way, they all contributed and they rendered lots of services to the Lord. So, the deity in the past was the living center of the community where everybody would come and offer services according to their individual capacity. And in this way, the community stayed centered on God, not just in terms of inner conception, but also in terms of outer culture. And deity worship is just accommodating form of devotional service that different people, according to their own talents, according to their resources, can all provide whatever they have for the Lord's pleasure. And in this way, they can spiritualize their talents and resources and move closer to Krishna and create a vibrant cultural environment where others also get abundant facilities for relishing Krishna and moving closer towards Krishna. Thank you.